Tyler, great race, big win in tough conditions. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best track conditions for me, but like the worst temperature for me. So we don't get a lot of this type of heat at home. So I struggle with this. I mean, I always have really, but I mean, everybody struggles with this. It's really tough, especially like at the pace that we're riding. So yeah, had a pretty well executed race.
Yeah, I noticed when you were just talking about that, Alex did close up the gap, and then you were able to put a sprint back on. Were you just kind of in management mode there for a little bit?
Yeah. I just didn't want to. I just don't want to like overcork myself and then like have to DNF because like from heat exhaustion or something. But no, like you say, I managed it. After the fuel stop, I got pretty hot when we stopped. The bike was hot, so I had to like chill that next lap. And then I seen Alex was getting closer, and then I had enough in the tank to sprint with 2 to go. And then yeah, I opened it back up and was able to kind of cruise the last lap. But yeah, I mean, I'm spent. That was hot.
Right on. Congratulations. That'd be good.
Tiens. Je sais pas s'il faudra en mettre plus. Ouais. Yeah. Il y en avait-tu d'autres, Sylvain? Je vais en prendre d'autres. Ah ouais. Sur la tête peut-être un peu là. Ouais, super course avec ça. Et Loic aussi, je vais chercher.
Péché que j'avais planté, même.
Ah ouais, t'étais proche à 19 secondes, puis tu rattrapais du temps à chaque...
C'est bon.
Alex, great ride.
Thank you,
Tough
man.
day, man.
Yeah.
How hard was it?
Sorry?
How hard was it?
C'était tough comment?
C'était pas si mal. Honnêtement, c'était dur mentalement de rester concentré parce que la track elle venait de plus en plus rough, puis je remontais sur Tyler. C'est une erreur que j'ai tombé, puis c'est ma faute. Si j'avais pas tombé, là, je remontais de plus en plus, puis je pense qu'on aurait eu toute qu'une battle, mais it is what it is. Je poussais fort pour remonter, puis c'est des choses qui arrivent.
Hey, bravo.
Thank you.
Ouais.
Ah, ça fait du bien.
Ah, douche.
Ah, ça, tu vois plus rien.
Voilà. C'est pas loin.
Unbelievable ride, Loic, in tough conditions.
Yeah, that was hot.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice.
Well, it was a hard one. I didn't think it would get so rough in the wood.
Same.
And well, the heat just got to us all, I think. Or, I don't know. I don't see Tyler. Maybe he's just
Tyler
dancing
is
around.
in the same position as you.
Ah, Kathy. But no, just had a great ride. Just kind of let the race come to me, and I thought like Tyler and Gougeon would probably like check out once they had a few seconds lead, but I seem to be kind of found the flow and like lines that were cross-rutting. Yeah, so I kind of find another way to attack the track that I could hold on to the bike and still make up speed. And once I figured that out, it helped me just so much. So
Fantastic job.
so intense, but it was like, I think the worst was the concentration. You just had to be like, level of concentration was like a pro motocross 30-minute heat, like speed, like concentration, but like try to hold that for 2.5 hours. I think that was the hell of a challenge today.
Fantastic job.
Thanks, man.
Win. Fmsq P4, man.
Yeah, that was cool.
Tell me about that.
That was cool. My bike wouldn't start off the start, so I started absolutely dead last. Kind of caught up to the front pack on the moto track there, and then stalled it in the woods, and it wouldn't start again for so long. I had to pass everyone that I passed back again, and then yeah, just worked my way through the rest of the race. Had some hand issues, but we worked through it. Yeah, all the boys were riding sweet. That was a suffer fest, but I love it.
All right, Rad Stoknar, out of 1 to 10, how rad?
1 out of 10, how rad? Probably like an 8. It was rad until my hands started hurting.
Stoked for the day, out of 10?
Give it a good 9. Not too stoked on the hands.
And the gnar?
10 out of 10. At first lap, I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. By the end of the moto, oh my god, I thought my hands were gonna blow off the bars. But
Great job, man. Owen McKill. Big day, P5.
Yeah.
It was a struggle fest out there.
It was a struggle, man. I didn't put myself in a great position off the start. I was like one of the last guys going into the first corner. So riding the 450 this weekend, I should have practiced some starts because it doesn't start like the 250, and I didn't. So that's nobody's fault but my own. So I made it hard on myself, but I just tried to ride smooth, man. The course was so rough, and I knew with the heat that if I was going to charge hard on the first lap that I was going to burn myself out. So.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It looked through the afternoon like the race was coming to you, man.
Yeah, and I kind of, I felt that way. My biggest issue this year has not been managing my energy, right? So I just really tried to focus on that, but at the same time still hold a good pace. I was dicing it up with Jake and Goulet on the last lap.
You had a long battle with Jake.
So man, funny story, I'll make it quick, but as soon as I passed Jake after the gas, I come around a corner and there's a tree like up to my shoulders across the trail. Like, no way. So I cartwheel, Jake goes around me, really class move by him. He got around me on that tree, but he felt that it wasn't really a fair pass, so he slowed down and let me by. That was super cool. And then after that, man, my heart rate was jacked and it was everything I could do to keep him behind me, but I knew that the way that the course developed, it was so one-lined, like nobody was going to pass me in the trees, so I just kind of put it in cruise on the way home.
I think the course came in a lot tougher than maybe a lot of us expected.
Yeah, 100%. I felt great on the moto track. If more of the course looked like that, I probably would have had a better day, but yeah, just that hard pack stuff, it's hard to figure out until you kind of get in the groove and know what the line is to push.
Brad Stoke Gnar, Rad out of 10.
If it wasn't 400 degrees, Rad out of 10 would be 10, but no, still a good day. 8 out of 10.
Stoke on the day?
I'm gonna go with a 5.
I was thinking you were gonna come in with a 7.
Yeah, I'm happy to crack the top 5, but I still got lots of work to do. So.
And the gnarliness out of 10?
18.
Awesome, man. Congratulations. That was a really good ride.
Yeah, thank you. I'd just like to thank Guy and his family, Jess, XL, for everything. You know, without them this year, I wouldn't be doing it. So a lot of pressure on me from myself to try and impress them, so I'm going to keep working on that. Rider's Edge suspension, bike setup was on point today. Trolley designs, Oakley, CTI braces, Parapacks for pegs.
Let's go. Blake Davies, welcome to FMSQ, man.
Yeah, that was a ride, man. Man, that was midway through. I didn't think I was gonna be able to finish, but man, the last 2 laps, I got a second win and just started pushing. It was amazing. I felt like I started doing motocross again. It was weird, but yeah, I was stoked. I think I got like 3 guys in the last 2 laps, so yeah, kind of a up, down, up moto.
Yeah, long moto, 2.5 hour.
Yeah, that was a long moto. That was a lot of gas stops on the small tank, that's for sure.
How are your hands doing?
They're actually good, no blisters. I mean, I put a lot of baby powder in my gloves before I went, and I think that's the reason I got no blisters. But yeah, hands, I mean, they're sore, but there's no blisters, so feeling good.
So does this maybe like start to scratch the itch a little, think about ISD in the back of your head?
I mean, it's definitely been a thought. Definitely have to train a bit. I got to figure out my mid-moto low. I don't know what was going on there, but
it was about 1 billion degrees out.
Yeah, it was hot out there, man. It was really hot.
Well, man, Rad Stoke Gnar, radness out of 10 today.
Probably like a 8 or 9. Definitely was feeling it, feeling pretty bummed midway through, but then it went right back up right at the end there.
Nice. And then your Stoke on the day?
Probably a 7.
Yeah.
Again, just got to clean up that middle part. I mean, I'm stoked from the beginning and the end. Just got to clean up the middle.
And what about the gnarliness of the track?
I give it like a 5. I mean, it's like our motocross tracks definitely get rougher, and then you got hard enduro, which is like way harder. So it was pretty easy track, a lot of chop, but I mean that chop just beats you up heavy. So I mean, definitely an easier course, which suits me from a moto style.
Sure.
But yeah, definitely not the gnarliest race, but I mean, the heat is definitely what made it the gnarliest.
Yeah, right on. Well, hey, congratulations. So good to see you in FMSQ. Hope we see you again. And or maybe at some of the sprints out west, or
yeah, we'll see. Maybe got a tight schedule.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was thinking looking at outliers, so that'd be fun.
There you go, man. Maybe we'll see you there.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, take it easy, Blake. Thank you.
Our FMSQ coverage is brought to you by STP 1958, your one-stop shop for engines, clutches, engine rebuilds, and parts. Check them out on the web at stp1958.com or on social media at STP1958.